Hello. Today I want to talk to you about organization in Seesaw. This is probably the most important video I've made for Seesaw because organization in the remote setting is going to be absolutely critical to stay in the same page. This is because all students will be rostered into elementary homerooms. So they will be rostered to the classroom homeroom teacher, and then specials teachers will be added as co-teachers. That means that we can have 4 or more teachers in one class, and staying organized with all of these different teachers and all the different students is going to be absolutely critical. So here are my suggestions for staying organized and staying on the same page. 1, whenever you post an activity, make sure students are adding their responses. From the student side, as soon as they add a response, that is going to clear out from their activity feed. So as a teacher, I see everything I've always posted in here. Everything's there. But for students, as soon as they add a response, it goes away. So we need to recommend to our parents and to our students that every day they are clearing their feed. So they've completed their day's activities. And at very least, we need to clear the feed at the end of the week. If students get really far behind, you may want to remove them from the activity, as we don't want them to have 50 different activities in the stream because they're not going to know what to do. The most up to date, the most current activities always go at the top, so they know what they should be doing today. We should also always label with time and date, which I will show you later on. So students should always clear their feed. What I did with my daughter in kindergarten this last year, as she was in a remote setting, was that every day I would check her iPad and make sure that she had completed all of her activities in Seesaw. Highly recommend that for parents. For teachers, you're going to want to use folders and our templates. So let me show you our DPS templates here. So I'm going to go to Assign Activity, and available in the DPS library, we have these amazing templates. So you can see some of these. They're labeled with hashtag DPS EdTech, so you can get access to these. They are created by the EdTech team, which I am a part of. They will have a lesson space for you, and they will have student workspace. Then you can come in and you can edit this. So you'll grab one of these templates, you'll make an edit and a copy. You will change this to your lesson. So we'll say this literacy. Okay, give it a name, give it instructions, and then in my activity, I'm going to have everything in one spot. During a math lesson or a literacy lesson, my students might do 5 different things. If I post 5 different activities to their feed, it's going to fill up and it's going to get really overwhelming. And as my other teachers, my co-teachers, are filling in the feed as well, it's just going to get massive and it's going to be way too overwhelming. So as much as possible, we want to have an entire day's lesson for content in one area. So you're going to have 1 literacy, 1 math, 1 elective each day, 1 specials for elementary. So they will have a math assignment, a literacy assignment. They might have a social emotional separate assignment. They can do all those things and have just a handful of posts that they need to do. So then in my lesson, I'm going to have my multiple assignments, and my students can actually just grab their pencil here and they can complete them by giving a little check. They can link to the pages here with these pre-built ones. So if I just want to jump down to activity 1, it takes me down to that activity. They know exactly what to do with our labels. So what is independent work? When are they completing this? So I know I'm completing this during my class time, so I shouldn't get started on that first. And then at the end, my expectation is to do my exit ticket on my own, and then that's going to feed my instruction for the next day as I see my student work for that. We can post what is coming up for tomorrow. This is a good spot you can do to homework. We have our objective. We have a lesson overview. This is really critical that we're posting these daily videos because not every student is going to make it to our live synchronous lessons. And so we need them to be able to do this as much as possible asynchronously on their own time if they're not able to make it to our synchronous live lessons. And then of course we want to post our standards. So then as I go through my multiple pages, I have my do now, which again is labeled as my independent work. I can make another page for my do now. If my do now is going to be a little bit bigger, I just click on these 3 little dots and I can do a duplicate of the page, or I can add in other pages completely. I have my time here for my lesson. I have a link and I have the nickname posted. I have my whole group activities that I'm going to do with my students. Then I have small group, my small group activities with my students. It doesn't matter what content I'm putting in here, literacy, math, specials can do this too. It doesn't matter. I'm just putting this in my page here to stay organized for my students using one common template, and then I have my exit ticket. When I'm all ready then to assign this here, I want to make sure that my student work faces this. So if I have a worksheet, I need to post it in both spots. If I have like a writing prompt here, I'm going to post it in both spots, both the student work and the teacher teaching space. So I'm going to put it in both spots. Then I'm going to save this here. Now I need to assign it. So this is really critical again for staying organized. I'm going to assign it to my example class here, and I don't want to just send it out to just the whole class here. I'm going to want to come in here and I can edit which students get this. I can select everybody, or I can just select some students. If I'm going to make any accommodations, modifications, I'm going to change some of the language features, I would then make multiple versions of this for them. And it is really critical that we use our folder. So this is a literacy lesson, and then I'm going to choose the week of. So I'm going to tag it with both the week of and the literacy. We don't want to do daily because it's going to get filled up really, really quickly as we are in remote for a fairly long period of time. So we don't want to have just one day. We want to have the week of, so that parents know what the expectation is for the week, and it's tagged with the content. The content is really key for our next step. So I'm going to send this out to my class now that it is ready. Boom, I'm going to view it in my example class. Now, as I have at least 4 co-teachers on this, I don't want to necessarily come to my activities feed to grade. I can come in here and I can see all of my student work and what they've done here. I can view it in this nice little area here. But as, say, I'm a specials teacher and I'm only posting 1 activity a week, I'm going to want to come down here to my journal, and in my class journal, I will see my folders, and my folders is what I tagged my lesson in. So I have my literacy lesson here, and then that'll show me just my literacy. Or if I'm the tech teacher or the PE teacher, I can post my activity, come back a couple days later, see how my students have done their PE activity. I can give them my descriptive feedback, and I can filter it for just my content area. Gen Ed teachers can do this too, that they can filter it for just their literacy so they don't see those other specials. So that's going to be really critical that we are tagging this as it comes. Your activity library is going to be separate from everybody else in your co-teacher, but you're going to share a space to interact with students. You're going to share announcements and messaging in that class. Everybody's going to be able to comment and interact. It'll be really great to have communication and collaboration between all of our teachers and our students. I'm very excited for that, but we need to make sure that we stay organized with our folders and to add activities as full activities with everything in a lesson as part of one activity. If you have any questions, please reach out to your digital coach. Your math literacy specialist and the C&I teams are lovely as well. They will be able to help you with all of your content questions.